Good morning. Welcome to today's Monday Momentum Coaching. My name is Teresa with August Consulting Group, and today we're going to be discussing momentum versus obstacles. We are halfway through the first quarter of this year, and if you're like many of us, we started off the year with goals and with expectations. And often when we start to pursue our goals or those expectations, we can become disappointed when we hit an obstacle, and our first reaction is to hit the pause button and to take a step back to reevaluate. And when we do this, we lose all that beautiful determination and momentum that we built up to that point. So how do we stop that from happening? Well, the first step is going to be in our own mind, our own mindset. When we first set goals, we need to be realistic and realize that there are going to be obstacles that come our way. The journey to our goal is not going to be smooth. Things are going to go wrong, and we have to be willing to adjust course when we need to. If an obstacle comes up, we may have to adjust to this side and move forward. We may have to adjust to this side and move forward. Or we may just have to take a leap over the thing and keep on going. We also sometimes we have to adjust our pace, right? Sometimes we have to slow things down a little bit. And we often will feel like, oh, I'm just not where I wanted to be at this point. Well, but are you still moving forward? Then you're being successful. Just because you don't get there quickly doesn't mean you're not being successful. As long as you're still taking small steps forward in the direction of your goal, you're being successful. And sometimes going slow allows you to enjoy the journey along the way. Sometimes we'll get into business and we think we're going to be offering this line of services, and then we get into business and we're not able to offer those lines of services. We have to adjust and offer these lines of services, but we're being very successful at it. It's flourishing in this direction, but sometimes we forget to see that positivity. We forget to see we've grown in that way. And so we stand in our own way, and that becomes an obstacle because we're like, well, we wanted that over there. Well, it doesn't mean you can't get that over there. You just may have to wait and build some momentum in your business and a reputation with your business before you bring over those lines of services. You have to start somewhere. So we have to be realistic in that area as well. I will often be told, well, Teresa, these obstacles, I can't control them. I don't have any control over them. It's true. You don't have control over your obstacles, but you do have 100% control over your reaction to them. You have control over your determination to, as soon as you see that obstacle, be able to maneuver and to adjust so that you can still continue along the journey towards meeting your goal. Instead of hitting the pause button, taking a step back and be like, well, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. We have to get out of our own way. Sometimes we're the obstacle. It's not if we're going to meet that goal or if we're going to meet that expectation, it's just how and when. And as long as we keep that in mind, we're going to be just fine because you're going to be more willing to adjust and adapt in the direction you go to get there. But again, it starts here. And this isn't just for business owners. These are for employees that maybe set out on a path and took a position and they thought they'd be farther along in that job than where they are now. But they're not. But they've still grown. It just might not have been at the pace they were originally anticipating or in the position that they were originally anticipating. If that happens, don't let that discourage you, but be willing to take uncomfortable action and take a step out of that job and maybe find something that does take you to that next level of growth, that does inspire you and does take you down the road that's going to get you to your goal. Don't feel like you're just stuck in it. You're never stuck. You're only stuck if you allow yourself to be, right? There's always options. You just have to be willing to take them, use them, even if they're uncomfortable. Growing is always uncomfortable. Taking the next step and moving to another level is always uncomfortable. It's not going to be easy. But if we're willing to adapt and adjust along the way, when something doesn't go smoothly or we do meet that obstacle, we're going to be just fine. We're not going to lose all that beautiful momentum that we've built. We're not going to lose all that determination that we've created for ourselves because we're just going to adjust. And then after a while, you're going to get so used to adjusting, it just becomes part of the dance, right? It just becomes a journey, part of the journey to get down the road to meet your goal. And so it becomes second nature to you. But you have to build that mindset first and practice, practice, practice. Remember these words, remember this conversation, remember this little tutorial, that when you hit that obstacle, I remember what Teresa said, I'm just going to adjust, I'm just going to adjust, I'm just going to adjust. But don't just sit there and do nothing. Don't hit pause and don't take a step back. If you do that, you're liable to just be stuck there. You may never reach that goal because you allowed yourself to keep stopping. And that's not going to get you anywhere other than where you were when you started the beginning of this year, right? You're not going to reach that goal. So be prepared to take uncomfortable action, get out of your own way, out of your own head, and establish the mindset that you're going to reach that goal. It just may not be the way you anticipated, but be willing to quickly adjust and react to that obstacle and know that you're never stuck. There's always a way around it. Just be determined to find it. And even though it's uncomfortable, take the action anyway. It's going to get you around the obstacle without losing that momentum and determination. I hope that this has been encouraging. I thank you all for stopping by and for your time and attention. Keep that positive momentum going and have a great rest of your week. Take care.